You never have to ask if African spirituality is for you because it already is. It's in your lineage, your DNA, your spirit.
You know what I realize? Black people are spiritually desperate for answers because life on earth for all black people is really difficult. And so, a lot of times, instead of seeking practical solutions, black people are seeking for spiritual answers from a higher power. All right, whatever that source may be, tarot cards, E5 priests, voodoo priests, the different religions, Christianity, Hebrewism, Judaism, however you want to say that. It's like this spiritual quest that the majority of black people endeavor in order to have a better life, to get better results. Just this whole idea of being one with the universe, being more in tune. Black people always talking about vibrations and all these things. It's black people are, even if they don't believe in certain religions, they are usually coming from a spiritual base. That's what I realized. And even when a black person is a Christian, they usually have intense spiritual experiences on average compared to other groups of people. And it gets even more intense when you talk about black dominated countries in places like Haiti, Jamaica, places in West Africa. I mean, these experiences get really just crazy. I've seen some crazy things in Jamaica. As I said before, when I was up in the church, and you had kids. I mean, you had kids having to get delivered. I mean, I seen some things, and then the stories they were saying was crazy. I mean, people in these type of countries, right? They have witch doctors in just living in the neighborhoods like normal. People go to witch doctors all the time in places like Jamaica and Haiti. It's spiritual warfare in these type of places consistently. I would say black people in America, and probably even the UK, are more sheltered from these deep spiritual realities compared to other groups of black people, especially black people of West African descent. So even as a Christian, particularly people of West African descent, probably even Central African, I'm not sure, have these deep spiritual experiences. Sometimes it's coming from God, sometimes it's not, But no matter what, considering these things, most black people, no matter what, believe in God, right? Most black people are in tune with the spiritual world, in tune with the universe, in tune with what's going on in the unseen aspect of life. I believe more than any other group. Does that mean black people are better? No. This is just my observation. Does this mean that other groups of people don't have these experiences? No. I'm just talking about on average. Because you could go to like a white church and literally like the majority of people will tell you they never really had really supernatural experiences at all. Like the majority. You may run across one or two, but you go to a black church, the majority of them will tell you they had some type of supernatural experience, right? And I'm just talking about America. Now, if you go to like one of these European countries and you go to one of those churches, I'm not trying to be prejudiced, man, but I gotta, like Sweden or something. Do you think, right, they're gonna have the same supernatural experiences as a place like Haiti or Jamaica when it comes to the church, the people in the church, right? The Christians in the church? I don't think so. Because I don't believe they have the same level of spiritual warfare, at least in the open. Like, I do believe you got people that practice, Satanism and stuff like that. You have that here, but it's not in the open like that, right? And it's behind the scenes. So people are not seeing these things. But in places like Haiti, Jamaica, places like Nigeria, Ghana, these places, this stuff is practiced in the open, right? So you have that aspect, but just people on a day-to-day basis will have these experiences. And so this is me, myself, I am no exception to that. Like, it will be almost impossible for me to deny the Bible based off just experiences I had, man. A lot of different experiences I had. I've seen things, and it's just like I can't even deny it, Now, I really believe if, I would have just been in a situation where it was just me following a bunch of rules from the Bible, I would have gave that up a long time ago. But black people find themselves almost like stuck, where a lot of them, black people would prefer to be able to, plan out something, put things together, and it just work out. But black people find themselves in this kind of like situation where it seems like they're stuck. And so they try to go beyond what they can see or beyond them. It's like, why does it seem like no matter how hard I try, this doesn't work? So that's when they have to look beyond themselves and seek something, a higher power, something higher than themselves. Especially considering the unique situation we are in as a collective, and we already know that. But a lot of times black people usually connect their situation to something that's spiritually happening. And as a whole, I connect it to something that's a collective spiritual thing, I believe we're not just spiritual, we're not just on a historical level, political level, social level, going through some things where, the system plays a part, but we also play a part in our own oppression. But I think it's a spiritual thing too, where we are spiritually oppressed by certain entities. And so we need to seek spiritual guidance, spiritual blessings to find our way out of that. That's just my opinion on that. But this is Brother Shepherd, and I'll be back for another video.